This first look video, we're going to check out a solution called MagicChecklists. This is by a company called Magic Plugins, and this is supposedly the first of many plugins to come from this company. So before we dive in, let me just quickly do a bit of housekeeping and highlight what these first look videos are all about, okay? First look videos, they cover solutions that we have no prior experience with. So literally, I've never seen this before, like in action, never installed it. So we are going to do that together here in real time. They show vendors how new users experience their solutions. They provide new users with initial setup tips and best practices if we come across any that we can give. These videos are unedited. We hit record and publish whatever comes out. They are not official tutorials, though they may contain tutorial aspects. They contain no affiliate links. They are not sponsored either, so we are not paid to do these videos. If you would like videos like this or other types of videos created for your business and or solutions, it's very easy to become a free lifetime partner. Just go to influencewp.com/partners. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see what this is all about. So I've got a sandbox site set up here. I installed the plugin before hitting record, but I have not activated it, as you can tell here on my screen. So we're going to do that together and just see what is presented to us. And let's go ahead. Okay, that was quick. So let's see, what do we do now? We see that we have a Magic Checklist menu item. And let's just go right into that main item and see what's in there. So first up, we have a banner says create and manage interactive checklists that can be accessed from anywhere on your site. Perfect for workflows, project management, and reoccurring tasks. Okay, so we can create our first checklist right from here. Looks like we can import some checklists, so that is really cool. So like I'm assuming that, like, let's say the InfluenceWP creates a set of checklists for whatever reason, that could be exported and then brought back into other sites. So that'd be something really cool to explore. We've also got an import, export menu item, settings, and manage licensing. I'm going to assume that the licensing is just for, future updates and support, and we're not going to need to put that in, but I can if we have to. Let's check out the settings really quick. So we have general plugin settings and behavior, checklist arrow buttons for navigation, enable navigation arrows to switch between active checklists when the drawer is open, and data cleanup, delete all plugin data when uninstalling this plugin. That is a nice touch, but that's something that I would recommend doing, especially if you're for sure you're not going to want to use a plugin anymore. Have it clean up after itself when it's done. So that's a nice option. And then menu position. I've got a few options there. We're just gonna go with all the defaults here and just see if we need or want to change anything. Under integrations, it looks like there's some REST API access for the power users out there that want to hook into this and do a bit more with it. So that's really cool. I do recall a note from the founder. Let me pull that up real quick on my other screen. So they're considering an add-on for main WP. So I'm assuming, that's hooking into the API and whatnot. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work. I would recommend that you also look at another partner of InfluenceWP, which is WP Umbrella. Those guys are really amazing to work with, and I without a doubt, I'm confident that they would be willing to open up a dialogue and talk about it. It's not to say that main WP shouldn't be a thing. You should absolutely reach out to them. I'm just saying I would also broaden the reach and look at places like WP solutions like WP Umbrella, maybe Managed WP, Modular DS, other companies in that space. But I do understand it takes time, and it's probably going to take some time to just knock down one at a time. But I would definitely extend your reach. Personally, if it was me, just because of the experience I have working with the team, I would recommend starting with WP Umbrella. If you're watching this, Christian is the founder of this company. Really awesome to chat with him. What else do they say here? Yeah, so There are many settings available that have granular control over how checklists should appear and who can actually see and interact with them. There's an REST API endpoint so power users can connect the checklist to any third-party software. Okay, so I just wanted to read what he had written me there. All right, so we see webhook endpoints, webhook logs, and so on and so forth. So that is more of a power user thing. So let's go ahead and let's set up a checklist here. So I'm just going to go to add new. And let's see here, configure your checklist below. Okay, so let's just call this IWP partner outreach. So these could be the checklist of things that I do when I reach out to a prospective partner for InfluenceWP and want to have a chat. So you put that description in there if you need it. Active status. When active, this checklist can be accessed using the keyboard shortcut or floating buttons. Keyboard shortcut or floating buttons. Yeah, I'm just kind of confused why that's called active status. To me, that's like whether it's just it's active or not. But this kind of sounds like it has to do with accessing it. Okay. Drawer theme. I'm a dark mode person, so I'm going to switch this over to dark mode just to kind of see what that looks like. Looks like you can set up a custom theme there with all of your branding and whatnot. So that's really cool. I'm just going to go with dark, see what happens. Tags. Add tags to organize your checklist. Okay. So I could say partners. If I just want to have multiple checklists that have to do with InfluenceWP partners, so we'll just call this partners so I can easily find the checklists that pertain to partners, right? Okay, so it looks like we have a next button. Let's see what that does. So that puts us over into the other screen. Let's go back to basic. Checklist items. Okay, so let's see. At the top here, I see enable item priorities. Okay. So it looks like you could put a color indication or a numeric indication on there. Let's see what that's all about. So let's go checklist item. Send email. I'm going to take myself off the screen here too. There we go. Okay, send email. That is our first task. And it looks like if we go over here to the right, we can add an image from our media library, or we can do a quick upload. That's a nice feature. Let's add another item here. Let's do follow up. And let's do one more. Thank you. Okay, let's go with that. And it looks like you can drag and drop and reorganize these. So that's cool. I'm not seeing the priorities, color indicators. I don't know how you set a priority here. Okay, let's go ahead and create this checklist. There we go. So filter by tags. Yep. Okay. So if we were to have multiple checklists, like I said, we could do a search and filter them by tags. That's cool. Priority. Okay. So it gave us a priority of none. I'm not sure how you set priority. It's also not showing my tags here. So let's go back to our checklist. Let's edit it, see if we can. Oh, that's probably, you know what? That's my fault. It's probably in one of these other tabs here. Okay. So let's go into that advanced settings. We don't have a deadline, but you can set one. Keyboard shortcut, we're not going to set that. All nice features. We're just going to cover some things here. Drawer trigger method. So how are we going to trigger this checklist? Keyboard shortcut, floating button, checked state handling. So global per user. Per user gives each user their own checked state. So global shares the check states among all users. Okay, checklist priority. Okay, here's where you can set that. Let's go ahead and just do, let's just do medium priority on that. Auto reset schedule, enable automatic reset of checked items on a schedule. Okay. So maybe like, let's say SEO, for example. So you ran through your checklists and then, you need to run through them 2 weeks later or a month later, then this thing could just auto reset those and make you run through them again. Okay, that's what I'm assuming you could do there. Enable shortcode. Enable this to use this checklist in your content. Okay, let's do that. Let's just roll with the default options there. Let's go to the next screen. All right, it's not going. I'm not sure if that went into the next. No, didn't go to the next screen. So let's just click on access control. Enable this if you want any website visitor without authentication to have access to the checklist. Okay. Enable rate limiting. Limit how frequently users can perform actions on this checklist, just to keep your site from being overloaded by bad actors. Looks like you can limit these based on the role. Okay. You have invitation links with granular expiration and granular usage limit. That's really cool. What else here? Loading conditions, load everywhere by default. So it looks like if we turn that off, we can choose where this loads. That's a really nice feature. I would probably, I'd recommend limiting to where that loads. Force delete lock. Use this button to forcibly remove the lock on this checklist if it is stuck. Only use this if you're sure no one else is editing the checklist. Okay. We've got our checklist items. All right, let's try going next again. There we go. So that one dropped us over to notifications, enable notifications for the checklist. We have email options. We'll click on integrations. We can do Slack or Discord. We can test those notifications. Under email, we can set our recipients, multiple recipients, send a test email, notification triggers, all kinds of triggers. Wow, there's a lot going on here. Notification frequency. Really, really cool stuff. Okay. So what do we do next? Let's just click update checklist just to make sure we've got everything saved. Going back to our checklist, we see that in here. So I think that is what that is, meaning the activate, deactivate. I think that's it is that, but the way the wording is, it makes it sound like it's not exactly that clear cut. It's more like a navigation thing, but I think this is just giving you like, hey, do you want to activate it at all or deactivate it? So there we go. Let's activate it. I still don't see a priority there. So let's go back in there and see if we can get that priority in there. I think that was advanced. Okay. Priority, medium, and update. Okay. So the only thing I would say here is some sort of an indication, a notification that this was actually saved, because I'm not seeing that. Let's go back to our checklists. Yeah, see that it doesn't look like it's saving for some reason. Okay, so let's figure out how do we get to our checklist here. So how do we see the checklist? Let's go back through this again. I'm just gonna stay silent here for a second while I try to find this keyboard shortcut. Drawer method. Let's do floating button. Let's change this from keyboard shortcut to floating button. We'll change the button to say access checklist. Button position will leave the same. Disable floating button when inside page builder. Okay. Still would like to get that priority set just to see that it works. Enable a short code. That's cool. Let's go ahead and copy that short code. Next. Maybe it wants you to have to run through all of these next buttons. Next, update. There we go. Okay, so I think that's it. It just wants you to run through all of those steps. Then that's how it works. Still, I think there needs to be some sort of an indicator, a dialog box that kind of tells us, guides us, tells us what to do there. Okay, so then what that did is it looks like it dropped this button down here in the bottom right of my screen. See that right there? It's bottom right, and it's got our priority on there and a little icon, access checklist. Let's click that. Oh, that is cool. That is really cool. Okay. So now we can even rearrange it right from there. We can check it off. What can we do here? I'm not sure what this is. So this first icon doesn't really have a tooltip. The second one says set a deadline for this item. The next one's probably upload an image. There we go, add image. I would probably say here there's some accessibility things to see. Toggle in prog. No, I'm not sure what this is. Toggle in progress. Set a deadline. Okay. There's probably some accessibility things going on here. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just guessing. Yeah. Okay. But that is really cool. And then you can add an item right from here. Hello. Okay. That's cool. And yeah, so remember I copied that shortcode. So let's go to a page. Let's just use the default WordPress block editor for this. And let's just do it right here on the home page. Okay, there we go. So here's our checklist. That is super cool. Okay, this is great. This is really, really great. Let's go back in here and just see if there's anything else that we want to highlight here. I'm going to run through this really quickly. It's active. The drawer theme was dark. So did we actually see that was the case? Okay. Yeah, maybe that's this right here. Is this kind of how that icon appears? It's more of a, there we go. This is the drawer. A total brain fart there. That's the drawer. So let's switch that over and see if, I'm assuming we can do that right on the fly, and that's a global setting in this case. There we go. See how that switched to light? We click that. Okay, there we go. That is super cool, super cool. What else? What else? Anything else that we need to do? We know how to create it. There's a lot of other things that you can do here. You could brand the checklist on your page like here on the page that I just set up. You could brand that. And then again, we've got the access control. I mean, this is just like getting my head spinning of things that I could do with this. Very, very cool stuff. Like you could set up a dashboard. I'm thinking you could set up a dashboard for your clients if you're into that sort of thing, and create checklists for them. And, they access it right there in their dashboard, and you're like, hey, like these are things that, you could do to enhance your SEO or whatever it is, right? Whatever. Give them those checklists in their dashboard that only they can access, and limit it to the roles and whatnot, and give authors certain checklists, give editors certain checklists, all kinds of stuff. If you want to empower people to maintain their own website, or do like security checklists and things like that, giving them the empowerment to do all that sort of thing. Oh man, this is super cool. This has really got my head spinning, especially with the import export option. Now let's look at that. So if I go to export here, you can do a plain, so choose our checklist, download the text file, complete export complete, checklist including, so then, okay. This is super cool. So you could bring this over to other, like if you run multiple websites, or if you want to provide this to other people, that is super, super cool. PDF export your checklist as a PDF with, all right, let's see what this looks like. You could drop a logo in there. Let's do that. Header text. This is my header text, contact information. This is my contact info. This is my footer. Okay, let's go generate our PDF. Did I miss anything here? Let's go back here again. Yeah, so Christian, that's what I would say here. If you watch this video, I assume you're going to, is I'd probably put some sort of a notification on that, because I don't know if it actually, I'm not really seeing that it downloaded. Maybe it's just because it's not working right now, and it's like a feature that's in progress. And let's see. Yeah, I don't know what I need to fix to be able to get this to download. Let's try keyboard, see if keyboard navigation works. I would also say for accessibility, this is nice how the focus changes here on these fields, but when it hits the button, it's really hard to see. So I would think about that too, but let's go ahead and, yeah, that doesn't seem to work. So maybe that's just not a feature that's fully ready to go yet. Well, let's try downloading the text version again, which we already did. So I'm opening that up on my other screen. And here we go. Got VS Code here trying to open a bunch of screens for me. Okay, so here's our checklist here in text format. Okay. And yeah, that is super cool. So again, head spinning of the options here. I imagine, and something I forgot to do, that's a total brain fart on my part, is to actually go through the website and poke around. So we're going to do that because I have some other notes that I want to share, just a couple more notes here. But I brain farted that. I typically run through the website first, but that's okay. We're going to run through it now. And yeah, okay. So again, Magic Plugins, that's the company. They have other plugins planned. Magic Checklist that we just looked at. That's what they have so far. And let's just go ahead and roll down through here. I did read some stuff from Christian, the founder, about how they address performance, and it's pretty impressive stuff. Very enthusiastic founder and seems very excited about what he's building. So that is always really good to see. Let's see, I'm just trying to see what I want to point out here. So here's the pricing, and they are a partner. Magic Plugins is a partner of InfluenceWP. So if you want to get an exclusive deal, then you can go to influencewp.com/deals and get the deal. But it looks like these are all lifetime offers here. If you want to check that out. The other thing, Christian, is, you do have an about. Okay. I would probably put that in the footer too. Features, use cases. Let's check out let's see here. So collaborate. Yeah. So collaborate on websites with your clients and teammates. Yep. It's pretty an obvious one there. Sell access. This is where my mind was going. Like when I said it, my mind was going in different places. I first went to like a marketplace. So Christian, like I'll tell you this in an email just in case. Maybe you have this planned, but I would think about a marketplace where you could sell pre-made checklists and have your customers, submit them, obviously review them and things like that. If you want, enhance your content, place checklists. That is awesome. Yeah. So like a cooking guide, Christian mentioned that in an email to me. That's like a really good use case. He says, it enables users to create checklists directly on WordPress. They can access the checklist literally anywhere on the site, front and back end. We recently added shortcodes, which we saw, so the checklist can be placed inside content. For example, a recipe checklist in a cooking blog. Okay. Extend other features. Yeah, I could see this also for like an LMS, learning management system, with students, checklists for students and whatnot. Very, very, very cool stuff. So let's go over here. I always like to look at the about page. There we go. There is our guy, Christian. But yeah, always love to see this, putting a face behind the company. He, like I said, extremely passionate, super nice gentleman. Yeah, all that good stuff. I think that's it, guys. Christian, hopefully you found, I'm assuming you're going to watch this. Hopefully you found it useful. I love this. These first look videos, I literally saw this for the very first time. I read the website briefly before I got started with this first look video, just to see what's a brief overview. But now that I've done the video, this is super, super awesome stuff. And excited for you and excited for people to check this out. And again, free lifetime partner membership. If you go to influencewp.com, click on this partners link here in the navigation, you'll go through here, see all the partner perks. And there's an easy form at the bottom to fill out to get your membership, and would love to have you. All right. Catch you all in the next video.